Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here. I'm Captain Clyde's MTG. Got some interesting news today to cover. I've been doing some research, make sure I got all the information correct. But today we're going to talk about how Wizards of the Coast decided to not change the D&D OGL and what it means to run your business poorly because you have to lay people off. So, without further ado, let's take a look at how great Wizards has been doing of a job lately. So, with all that said, don't forget to subscribe before we get to the end because I could really use the support. And this is going to be fun. So, let's kick it off with D&D reports that they won't change the OGL, which is the ongoing gaming license, handing fans and third-party publishers a massive victory. Yes, so around January 27th, this did come out. If you guys have been following the channel or anything for that matter on YouTube, regular news, what have you, you'll see that during the infamous fireside chat, Wizard of the Coast mentioned about trying to make money and all this other stuff. I'm paraphrasing. And how D&D is under monetized because they're greedy. But anyway, so after mentioning this, they talked about changing the OGL, which was what allowed third-party publishers to make content for D&D that people could use, so forth and so on, and it made people want to play D&D because it was the base game set. Now, with that said, the change to the OGL, as you guys know, I'll paraphrase again, was basically to make sure that Wizards got a piece of everybody's pie who did anything for D&D. The reaction to this was, in short, a lot of people actually canceling millions upon millions, if not maybe $1 billion worth of subscriptions to D&D Beyond as protest, costing the company millions. Striking Pathfinder and many other companies off to make their own OGL, also referred to as I think it's they call it the Orc, basically means the same thing. Uh, and people have started to move over to Pathfinder now as a uh, better option to D&D because of the changes of the OGL. So after several weeks and months, Wizards has finally realized that not only do they not have a damn clue what it means to help and run a vibrant community and give back to those who are, basically paying your bills and making your profits, um, that when you try to milk for everything that it's worth, you end up losing your customer base because as big as D&D, Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast want to think they are not the end all beat all, and they can fail, and they're starting to find that out the very hard way. And this was one of the very first things that happens. Now, so great news for all the D&D players out there. I'm with you. I'm a D&D player. I love D&D, although I've been looking into Pathfinder myself because of this stuff going on. And to be honest with you, all the stuff and products that they keep pumping out for D&D, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really drove me away from the game over these last years because I get tired of reinvesting into new editions. I get tired of investing in all this weird stuff. I just don't see a point to it. My favorite sets, probably second edition. I got almost every book, if not every book, for second edition. Would play second edition anytime, and all this other stuff they've come up with. And maybe I'm just old school, but it's just a way to reinvent the wheel to get somebody to actually buy something. Now, with that said, D&D has, or the community for Dungeons and Dragons, publishers and so forth, have struck a major win, and I think it's a little too late for Hasbro slash Wizards of the Coast to actually fix this, because people are happy that they got their way, but they've already invested so much into doing other things away from the company and away from their product that they're not going to stop now, because what if D&D just changes their mind and they just uh, circle back later, let's say, and make changes? So no one's going to believe them anymore. So they've honestly burnt the bridge and it's honestly too late. So, and because of that, we've had some other very interesting developments. For example, because of how they've been running the company, especially with Magic. We talked about Magic 30. We just talked about the OGL. Um, how they're raising prices, pumping out products, bait and switching, and all this other things. You can see here for the last year, this is the Hasbro stock price. You can see here it was around $90. And normal volatility, but as you can see, there is a steady trend of them continually to piss off the player base as their price has steadily plummeted to around $60. It was at a low of 58. It's barely above that now. It's right around 61 is the recent high. Um, they have take a bloodbath here lately. Over the past year, losing 36% of their stock value. That's almost 50%. That is insane. Um, and not only that, it's also coming out in their weekly and quarterly reports of how they're missing their marks and they're not making the money. And a lot of this came from uh, what first started off as the 30th anniversary, where they tried to milk everybody for the MTG 30 packs, 4 packs for $1,000, reprinting proxies, and trying to sell them to you at a very high markup. And that was probably to reinflate their coffers to show that they actually made money. It's kind of interesting. Yes, Hasbro's a massive company, but literally 50% or so of the entire market value of Hasbro comes from one small company at Wizards of the Coast and Magic inside of their entire portfolio. That is insane. And they've been milking it so much that they've done so much damage to it that now it's done nothing but tank their stock price, and they're really starting to suffer. And as much as I hate to be happy about this, I hate to see people lose their jobs, I am happy that somebody is finally having to pay for these piss poor decisions of the game that we all love. Now, I show you this because what this has led into is not only, the OGL catastrophe, the MTG catastrophe, how they've ran the business in general, too much product, you name it. We've talked about all that stuff before. It's finally starting to come to a head because not only is their stock price down, but also they are now going to cut 15% of their workforce as of this week announcement, which is about 1,000 jobs at Hasbro. So now the sad thing about this, that the 1,000 people losing their jobs are probably not the people who made the decisions to have the company be the shitty thing that it is, but it should be a wake-up call for people in upper management that you're making the wrong call and now you have to fire workers below you. If they don't realize that, pretty soon maybe they'll be out of a job too if they can't get their head out of their butts. Because what this means here is, as you look at it, now this isn't just Hasbro in general, right? Hasbro joins numerous, it says here tech sectors, I don't know why they're tech, but talking Google, Amazon, Microsoft announcing mass layoffs. IBM this week said it would cut 3,900 jobs, while SAP said it would lay off around 2,800 employees. Everybody's in a bad shape because of the market and a lot of other political issues that are going on that I won't get into. But at the same time, running your business piss poor in a market that's just so bad off, you can't hide behind your piss poor decisions because the market's flush and there's no inflation and people are willing to spend money. You can't be a bad business and make money during bad times. And this is what they're starting to find out. And because of that, it says here, we are focused on implementing transformational changes aimed at substantially reducing costs and increasing our growth rates and profitability. Hasbro CEO Chris Cox said in a statement, Hasbro will focus on fewer, bigger brands, gaming, digital, and our rapidly growing direct-to-consumer licensing businesses. As part of the job cuts, Hasbro's president and COO, Eric Nyman, will step down. So maybe he's the one that made these calls. Maybe he's a fall guy. Whatever the case may be. The layoffs and other organizational changes aim to save the company up to $3 million over the next few years. So these are jobs that are going to go away, be combined with other jobs because there's too much fluff and there's too many people not doing what they need to do. So, speaking with our wallets made a difference. If we keep going this route, I think what we're going to start seeing is Hasbro going back to understanding that they are big enough to fail. They're not that big, and there's too many other people who want a piece of their pie for them to try to um, put the shellackins to their customers, let's say, because they're bleeding money out, and over time, this is what it causes. And to let you know too, because of what they've done, stores are going under. There's 5 stores in Canada, I think, that have closed down, along with some other stores around the country. Everybody's ordering less product. All this is accumulated into what they have made. Amazon dumps causing stores not to be able to make money because people just want to buy on Amazon instead is causing them to do Amazon dumps, causing them to make less money. Um, and I think they just don't understand what's wrong. And I think that what they don't understand is the local LGS is what made them. It's what made them big. And trying to get around that is a good way to dig a hole and bury your product, because everybody else who's coming up, all these other card games, Flesh and Blood, Yu-Gi-Oh's been around, but still, Weiss Swords, Pokemon, all the rest of them, they don't use dumps on Amazon. They use the LGS. They use their distributors. And the more Wizards tries to get away from that, the more they're going to realize that they don't know what really makes business work. So now maybe there's some other decisions and other reasons why they do it, but at the end of the day, if they have good reasons for it, it sure the hell doesn't come out into a business that's being profitable. So maybe that's something they should think about. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Until tomorrow, remember to be kind. Stay tuned. We're coming up with our top 5 and 10 videos for all the formats for the new set coming out. All will be one. Cannot wait. So excited for it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to sub. Links in the description to Patreon and eBay. Until next time, be kind. And as usual, I hope to see you across from the game table.